Welcome, welcome everybody to Milkshake Funeral presents Press Reset. So this is one of our new shows we've launched. We got Josh Etherly with us as well, sports aficionado. This is a new show that we've launched basically to look back at. Initially, it was going to be just looking back at high school football recruits and basketball recruits. But I don't know. We might looking back is fun. So we tweaked the name last second to be Press Reset, and tonight we're looking back at the 2000 college football recruiting class. So there you go. So if we need a little context. I'm going to set a little context for some non-sports context.
Yeah.
So the 2000 Best Picture Award winner. I mean, that's a while I wouldn't have got it, and I'm obsessed with
2000.
You're gonna know it. It's not one of those.
Titanic, right? Titanic's already sunk, so
yeah, that's right.
No clue on 2000, is it?
Okay. Minor clue: videoing a plastic bag. That's Beauty.
Oh, American Beauty.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yep.
Before the lawsuits,
What's that?
Before the lawsuits came.
Before he got canceled. All right. So here is your top 100, Billboard Top 100 for March 4th. Amazed by Lone Star. I Knew I Loved You, Savage Garden. Breathe, Faith Hill. Thank God I Found You, Mariah Carey. Maria with Santana.
Everything.
That's the way it is. What's that?
Everything was so happy in 2000.
Boy, it was. That's the way it is with Celine Dion. Bye by NSYNC.
Oh, there it is.
All the Small Things. Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely. And number 10, Let's Go Somewhere and Get It On Tonight. There you go, folks. Free music. Montel Jordan.
Yeah, it's just so, everybody was happy in 2000. Yeah. Well, I guess something happened in 2001. Maybe that was.
Yeah, things definitely took a downer. But yeah, 2000, everybody's like, we survived Y2K. We knew we were going to be fine. It's wonderful. It's 2000. We're going to have flying cars in a few years. Everybody's going to get along. The best is ahead of us. So, not to be a Debbie Downer, we got enough of that going on with the virus. So, we're just giving you a little context on what was happening in the beginning of the year 2000, which is when recruiting was taking place. I'm not a recruiting expert, but I know they didn't have the early signing like they do now.
Correct.
So, the March signing, that was the big. And it's been that way for most of the time. That's a recent development, right? March for forever, or this used to be the big deal, right? The spring recruiting.
And also there was, I don't think there was early spring enrollees in 2000 for the most part. So these guys were finishing high school.
Yeah. So this was a big deal. So what we want to do is we're not going to, because this could be its own show, and we may actually start doing this. We just want to give a little context for the college football season. What happened? It would have been the 99 season. So let's just move through that real quick. So Florida State beat Virginia Tech with stunning freshman quarterback Michael Vick. He was beaten out by Peter Warrick for MVP of the title game. And again, y'all, this is BCS, no tournament.
But Peter Warrick had 3 touchdowns in that game. Didn't he?
He did. I mean, this sounds stupid to say it. I guess if Virginia Tech had won, Michael Vick would have gotten it. He played amazing. The BCS adopted a new rule because Kansas State got left out again in favor of Michigan. Yeah, they put in a new rule, nicknamed the Kansas State rule. So any team ranked in the top 4 in the final BCS had to go to a BCS bowl game. I don't think they ever got to take. Did they? I should do more research. Didn't they end up playing Ohio State in a BCS bowl?
Kansas State?
Yeah, not too long after that, they finally got one, I think.
And I think they got spanked, didn't they?
They have.
And was Kansas State Big 12 at that time?
Oh yeah,
they were.
Yeah.
All right.
Was it Michael Bishop that?
Yeah.
Thank God he didn't beat. He lost that game to
Michael Bishop.
Wow. Let's see.
Pulled that one out.
Well, that's going back further. That's not this year. That's what put Tennessee in the title game because the transfer who got beat out by Peyton beat them in the Big 12 title game. A&M. Brandon Stewart.
Brandon Stewart.
There we go.
Brandon Stewart.
There we go. All right. Sorry, folks.
You got all the way around.
Boy, I sure did. So let's see. Rule changes. Did you want to talk rule changes? You mean?
This is great. This is coming off of the 90s, right? We're really getting into the 2000s. The early 90s or late 80s, we had the Miami and their chains and everything. And just in the year 2000, just in the year 2000, the NCAA declared that bandanas were illegal equipment.
Can't have them. Can't have bandanas out there. Ridiculous.
Crazy.
Didn't realize this. Offensive teams cannot break the huddle with 12 or more players. I didn't know they ever could break the huddle with 12 or more players.
When was that not a rule?
That's crazy. Okay, we got some. You seem really into this. Some conference changes.
Oh man, yeah. This was the invention. Was it? I don't have my notes here. The invention of the WAC or the split of the WAC? Which one was it?
This was the death of the.
They stayed, but they lost 8 teams, right?
Mountain West was formed prior to the season by the 8 former members of the WAC. Do you remember on NCAA football, you could do this? When they instituted that in the video game, when you could take a team and move conferences? Oh my God.
And that really was kind of the start of some of these conference changes that happened all through the 2000s. I mean, a lot of moving around after this. Virginia Tech played in this game as a Big East champion, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Miami was a Big East team. The Big East, they went away and they came back for basketball, but a lot has happened in the last 20 years.
Crazy. It really is. It's weird. It was 20 years ago. It doesn't feel like it, but so New Mexico, San Diego State, UNLV, Utah, Wyoming, a fun secondary team for a devoted Milkshake Funeral fan, Michael Green. They all moved from the WAC to the Mountain West. I was actually at one of these schools for undergrad. I was at MTSU when this happened, and there was a modicum of excitement in the air. None of us got too excited.
They sold 20,000 to a game, didn't they? I mean.
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't know. I was in
Division 1 in 2000 is what we're talking about, right? So that is the year they went Division 1, and I think they had one game.
They were an independent.
Yeah, so
it didn't take them long before they beat Vanderbilt. Actually, real quick.
Yeah, I don't think they sold that many tickets since.
No. Okay, let's see. So we're getting a feel for it. The bowl games. So you had 4 BCS bowls, and yes, you had your ACC champ, Florida State versus the Big East champ. Obviously, you wouldn't have that now. Well, you could have that in a playoff situation. Right. Yeah. You had the Orange Bowl. Michigan is the team that got jumped over. This is the Brady Michigan, I believe. This is the Brady Michigan team because they went into overtime and they beat Alabama in just a score. Well, felt like a score 35. This is funny. 35-34 in overtime in that Orange Bowl, and that felt like, holy crap, nobody's playing any defense. No. Can you imagine that now? They'd be like, it was an off night.
35 points in 2000. That's when you and I were staying up and watching these Pac-12 games at night, and Stanford scoring 8.
Right. And Jim Harbaugh's a genius.
35 points.
What's that?
35 points, impressive.
Yeah, 35-34. I mean, it ain't taking them 30. It ain't taking them overtime to get that in 2020.
We need to look. We won't get into it, but how many touchdowns were scored in OT? Was it just one OT?
Just one.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it probably was 28 apiece going in.
Yeah,
and then I bet Alabama got cute and went for 2, or they missed the extra point. Who knows? Well, somebody knows, but we'll never know. Wisconsin beat Stanford. Here we go. 17-9 in the Rose Bowl.
Gotta love Rose Bowls.
That's Ron Dane's Wisconsin team, by the way.
Gonna be a star.
Oh, and then the Fiesta Bowl. The Big 12 champs, Nebraska. And what's really their last, this team they'll beat you up a little bit, because even the teams after with who's the guy that he was a below average running back, quarterback, and receiver, but somehow that meant he was the Heisman Trophy winner. He got demolished by Miami. The Rams wanted him to play wide receiver, but he just refused. So he just said, "I'd just rather not play football."
Well, it's funny. Today he's a top 5 pick. You know.
No, not this guy.
I'm thinking Tommy Frazier back in '96.
Yeah. Tommy Frazier dragging Gators all over the field.
So.
Eric freaking Crouch, man.
Yeah.
Garbage. Eric Crouch has a Heisman and Michael Vick doesn't. Wait. I'm getting my seasons overlap. That was in the future. Still, he shouldn't have a Heisman.
He was a little young.
Anyway, they thumped Tennessee. They didn't thump us. Okay, 31-21.
I mean,
it felt worse than it.
We weren't
than it maybe looked.
In the game was the problem.
No,
you know, we were in a Fiesta Bowl, coming off a Fiesta Bowl that we didn't want to be there. I'm glad.
No,
not at all.
I just see Amon Green running all over the field. Yeah, and you know what? You lose Al Wilson. Raynock was a great complimentary linebacker, but he ain't calling out defensive strategy out there. So anyway, those are your BCS bowls. You may ask, where was Florida? I don't care. Okay, so let's move on to the Heisman Trophy voting.
Interesting top 10 Heisman.
This is a weird top 10. So I'll buzz us through. Let's see if I can blow this up.
Right.
Yeah, I'll let the 2 viewers that we have right now.
Ask the viewers if they can name who finished second in this Heisman. Oh, too late.
Oh, too late. Oh, we lost Jack. There he is. Okay, so I think everybody can see that pretty well.
Yeah.
So you have here we go. Tim Rattay. Whose brother would attend Tennessee for about 5 minutes.
John Rattay.
John Rattay.
Savior.
What's that?
He was going to be our savior, but the first Clausen.
We had, right. Don't forget what a battle it was amongst the fan base to believe in Casey. I was with him from the beginning, by the way. LeVar, what's that?
I want to see tape of you with Clausen.
Oh, I was. We didn't have anything else.
Well, we had John Rattay.
We had AJ Suggs, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Just throwing it, barely across the hash there, or barely across the line of scrimmage. LeVar Arrington, Thomas Jones out of Virginia, who went on to actually have a pretty decent NFL career. Sean Alexander. He might be the second. Ooh, okay. Sean Alexander, Peter Warrick, Chad Pennington, who believes it's a privilege for you and I to be doing this right now. Drew Brees, Michael Vick, Joe Hamilton from Georgia Tech. So he gets the second most. What's that?
Look at those stats. Look at that. 3,000 yards. 3,000 yards. He finished 2 spots above Drew Brees, who threw
This is wild.
4,000 yards. He had 29 touchdowns.
Did Beamer just not like Michael Vick? Look at him.
I know.
What?
Did he play? Does it show games? Did he sit out 2 games during? Maybe not. I need to. I just watched the 30 for 30.
And
I want to say, but even if he sat out 2 games, those stats. How many?
That's wild. That's a lot lower than I would have.
I'm gonna look up rush.
Here we go. Let's see. Game. Is this game's 12?
12.
Then he missed some the next year.
Oh, that's
so.
Yeah.
Huh. Wild. But I mean, we live in a world where Joe Hamilton. So this is so silly. So Ron Dane, and this is we won't get in as much to the hypocrisy of the Heisman.
Yeah.
It just wildly fluctuates every year. really back then, even almost worse than it. Not almost worse than it does now. When in 1 year it was a career award, the next year it's not. So Ron Dayne is a product of that being okay. Well, he had 2,000 rushing.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That's his total number of Heisman votes, right?
Well, he broke the record.
Oh, and he had. Okay, those numbers are weirdly similar. My bad. But anyway, I don't think he deserved it. Joe Hamilton second. You look at the names on here, like Sean Alexander. Okay, well, that's crazy.
For an Alabama team that most people forgot, coached by Mike DeBose. Brad, you know who the quarterback was, right, of that Alabama team?
Wasn't Freddie Kitchens, was it?
Zhao.
Who?
Andrew Zhao.
Andrew Zhao. Zhao is wow.
The worst part about this, as being Tennessee fans, went 10-2 and won the SEC with Mike.
Yeah, they're so good at that. They're so good at plugging anybody in there and getting what they and getting.
We forget. Let's not remind people about that.
So there you go. So that's the Heisman. This is a really fun category for me. Coaches that were fired and coaches that were hired. So this is the beginning of Mike Leach being unleashed onto mankind. I think this was his first head coaching job. I think he gets this off the. I think he goes from Kentucky to Texas Tech, but
I didn't realize it was his first head coaching, but that would make sense. That timeline makes sense.
Just make sure.
Wow. Look at that.
We need like a human. We need a human Wikipedia on here. What's that?
You need to put a stats guy on staff in our ear.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that real soon.
I'm gonna look it up. You can move through the coaches. I'm gonna.
Yep. No, that's it. That's it.
Well, there's a big one on this list. There's a big hire that came into.
Oh yeah, I mean, so LSU goes and gets that Saban guy. They take a run at this Saban kid. Of course, he's never been young, but anyway. So yeah, so it's funny. We looked at that, and DiNardo, I didn't realize how terrible he really was the last two seasons, but he was brutal. Yeah. And I think what's equally interesting, in a way, is that the replacement for Texas. Have you ever heard of the guy? And I mean, Michigan State is not like a know-nothing program. Like, you hear it ain't been good recently, but you know things about them. You ever heard of him? You ever heard of this guy?
Bobby Williams.
Williams.
Until I looked this up, I had no clue that Bobby Williams was a former coach at Michigan State. No clue. Never heard of him. No clue.
I mean, this guy sounds like a local DJ, Bobby Williams. I mean, like I don't even know what a Bobby Williams is, but yeah. So DiNardo was 4-7 and 2-8. Didn't win an SEC game in his final season. He finishes 32-24, 18-20-1, because you could still have ties back then during part of his tenure.
Oh, wait a minute! Look at that stellar Vanderbilt record he had that LSU hired him off of.
How about that? How about thinking that 19-25 and 9-22 means you should have the LSU job?
Well, we are talking about you win 19 games in 4 years at Vanderbilt. Maybe you do deserve an award. Maybe. I mean,
Tennessee fans, y'all might want to get off yourselves a little bit because look at that. I mean, look at what LSU was willing to hire.
Oof.
I mean, that makes like Dooley look like, yeah, why not? Sure.
Jerry DiNardo, 5.
God, he had a big mouth, which he ran a lot, and yes, thank you, Michael Green. We absolutely LSU must have been like crack addict, no more money.
Well, they couldn't get Bobby Williams. Yeah,
Bobby. They should have given Bobby Williams a look because he can also spin the wheels of steel.
That's right.
Because I'm weird, I find it interesting that Tom Cable was a college head coach. He's bounced around the NFL a lot. I just know that name.
I did look.
What's that?
I did look it up. This is Leach's first head coaching job.
Thank you. We don't need you got a stats guy. You're looking at him. Mike DeBoard.
Oh,
Mike DeBoard at Central Michigan. little inside baseball. So, but yeah. Chuck Amato. I just like saying Chuck Amato. The media, you know how the media has there's certain names they like to say a lot. He was one of those names, and they always say both names.
Yeah.
Fred Warrick, that was another one when he played for Florida, but not when he played for Tennessee.
I feel like anyone named Chuck.
Chuck.
Yeah.
All
Anyway.
right. Okay. So you've got what's that?
Good review. Good review.
Good review. Okay. Did anybody else interesting get fired? Did anybody make the twofer? Oh yeah, okay. Saban. I'm just looking to see.
Bob Sutton is that the Oklahoma State son of maybe
Eddie Sutton? You talking about Eddie Sutton? You talking about basketball?
Oh, that's basketball. That's basketball. Never mind.
All right. Let's go to let's run down what the draft looked like this year real quick.
Give me the first shot at this one because I don't care who you are. You just look at 17 in this draft. Just go straight to 17.
All right, I'm going. One second.
Everything else, and we're going to talk about the Raiders.
Here we go. There we go.
Yes. A kicker.
Mr. Janikowski. What do they call him? The Russian assassin he goes out, every time he goes out on the field, he's got a bottle of vodka in one hand, a cigar in the other.
Now, hindsight, honestly, maybe not the worst thing you could do. There's worse things in this first round. But
no, so they had lost a bunch of games, I think.
Yeah.
By like single digits, like really close. And so Gruden's like, yeah, man, get a kicker in here, man. We're going to the Super Bowl. I guess he wasn't completely wrong. But wild though. He's still kicking.
Yeah.
I saw him kick last season, or it was a fever dream, and I just wish that I saw him kick last season.
I believe it.
So you got Jamal. You got the Jets and the Redskins. So
the Jets had 4 first-round picks. 4.
Now wait, they traded Courtney Brown. Ended up with the Browns. So what? I guess they must have traded him, and because they ended up with Arrington and Samuels, the Redskins.
Yeah.
And y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm getting the.
Oh, you switched them.
I think his last name combined that it's the Browns. All right, yeah. I'm back with you. I'm back in reality. Yeah. So let's see the Jets, just because it's fun to see with the Jets. What did they get out of this draft? This is an odd way to list this, by the way. Sean Ellis, John Abraham, Anthony Beck. I feel like he was okay for a minute.
Okay.
And Mr. Privilege himself, Chad Pennington. Of course, the Titans took Bullock. Trung Candidate got drafted because his name is Trung Candidate.
Trung Candidate.
Nobody did not pronounce that candidate. Nobody did not pronounce it that way.
But Brian
Dane, I don't think he had much of a career.
No, New York.
Travis Taylor. Oh, Florida receivers, man, don't do it. Don't ever do it.
Nope.
Oh, let's see.
Hey, there's your buddy right there. Just give us a little Rob Morris background.
Oh, Rob Morris. So Rob Morris, people give the constructor of the Colts, the GM, Bill Polian, they give this guy, look, he knows what he's doing. He did a fine job. But man, I think he overthought some stuff sometimes, because if Keith Bullock is on the board and you're drafting Rob Morris, we have a problem. And Rob Morris put up some decent numbers. Brigham Young, he flew around. He looked like he was flying around the field because he's playing for Brigham Young. And so he looked more athletic. He gets to the Colts, and it's obvious pretty quickly, like, this guy can't move laterally like in the NFL on a regular basis, especially not in the Dungy defense where the linebackers have to do so much. But he, along with Captain Bob Sanders, has this crazy run when they won the Super Bowl. They beat the Bears in a defensive struggle in the rain, and this guy was plugging holes. It was like, and then so I guess it did validate it. But Rob Morris, I just remember because I used to root for the Colts some, and boy, I hated that pick. I saw him play. Anyway.
Music City Bowl was played. Didn't Keith Bullock play in the Music City Bowl this year? I think Syracuse played in the first ever Music City Bowl. I could be wrong. I think, or maybe not the first one, but I think he came to town, and I think that's where Fisher saw him.
Okay, well, it was a good pick. I mean, and another one of those were probably like maybe he didn't need to sit as long as he, back then they're still doing that bullshit where it's like, well, we need to wait and see, like, put him on the field. All right, so that's where we were. Sean Alexander is probably should have gone much, much, much higher.
We got a Hall of Famer on this list, though, right?
What's that?
Urlacher's in the Hall of Fame, right?
Is he? I mean, he will. Yeah, if he's not, he will be. I'm not very good on that. Yeah, I think Eric Flowers ended up having a pretty good. I remember Chris Hovan was pretty good. Peter Warrick didn't really pan out, but he went to the toilet bowl of the NFL for most of the time they've been in the NFL. So, all right, so that gives us a pretty good look at the draft, and then we're gonna do a quick reset of the 1999 Tennessee football season. We're not going to spend much time on this, so folks, look, don't leave. I promise we're not going to spend a ton of time on just Tennessee on this particular podcast.
So frustrating.
Yeah, we go 9-3. You feel like we could have repeated, but no Al Wilson, no Peerless Price. I think the Al Wilson hurt. And yes, Alex Brown for Florida, who had a record 39 sacks in that game against us. It's 4th and 3, I think. We run a toss sweep to the left, I think, with Jamal, that against a speedy defense that can move left to right. No, it wasn't going to work. It didn't work.
I think the field I'm not making excuses, but didn't it shower? Wasn't the field a little slick and Jamal had footing issue? I'm not making.
It could have been. I feel like I'm seeing that in my brain.
Maybe I just wanted that to be the reason.
Maybe a little play action to the tight end, or just a little whatever. Nobody pays me to coach. We beat Wyoming.
Woo, woo.
Yeah. More on that later. No.
Yeah.
We barely lose to Florida. I mean, we lose to Florida by 2 points. Beat Memphis, Auburn, Georgia, Bama. Beat Bama 21-7. That's a good Alabama team.
SEC champions that year. SEC champions, 21-7.
Well, and you look, our closest. This is insane.
Wow.
Our closest win is Memphis by 1.
I remember.
We beat Auburn, Georgia, Bama, South Carolina. Beat Notre Dame by 24.
Wow.
Lose to Arkansas by 4. But anyway,
21 versus Kentucky. That's halfway through our 35, 38 year run. So.
Yeah. All right, folks. So there you go. That's just for the Tennessee viewers. We'll move on from what might have been. Okay. Hopefully this tab is still. Oh, here we go.
Look at that.
Yeah. So just to give everybody an idea how we're gonna try and process this is there's 120 players. As you and I were kind of talking, the folks that it's not that interesting to me if you're in like the bottom 80 of this and I don't know you like that.
Right.
Whatever. It's much more interesting to me if you're in the top 40 and I don't know you, and then the inverse also holds. So I want to start by talking about. Well, actually, do you want to give your sort of recap of what teams dominated this recruiting class?
It is pretty interesting. So if you just look at the top 100, completely dominated by the state of Florida. 9 players go to Florida State. 8 players go to Florida. That's 17 players go to those 2 schools. Then you got next on the list, you got Tennessee in the year 2000. Tennessee.
Getting them.
7 guys along with Texas in the top 100.
Jimmy and Joe's.
That's right. Next, you got Miami, Alabama, and Penn State with 6. Yes, we had more than Alabama. And you got Michigan State with 5. That's coming off the Nick Saban year. OSU with 4. Then Colorado, Stanford, USC, and Notre Dame with 3. There's obviously quite a few with 2-1, but you look at the SEC now, right? We didn't name Georgia. We didn't name Auburn.
No.
We certainly didn't name any team from Mississippi.
Well, and this is why I scoff at the whole chanting SEC all the time. Like a rising tide sinks most of the boats in sports. Okay, like it doesn't. Watching an SEC team win the title all those times, like doesn't do anything for us. In fact, if anything, our biggest recruiting competition are those teams.
No doubt.
Right? And then you could throw Clemson in there too. That hasn't helped. But like this idea that, SEC pride, like to hell with SEC pride, man. I hate these kids. Not the kids legitimately, but these teams. Like I'm not having fun watching them win. I mean, maybe like.
There's not a Dallas Cowboys that everyone universally hates in college football, right? Okay, so they play Ohio State or USC. Maybe those teams we're not particularly fond of. But for the most part, there is no week during the year that I want to see Alabama succeed.
No. Like I like LSU a little bit.
Yeah, they got some swag,
A little bit. When that idiot Miles said something about Texas is the real UT, then I was like, you know what? You and I, we're gonna separate for a little bit. I'm stepping away from you. But I don't go nuts hoping they win. But like, no, it doesn't. So anyway, what did we? But all that to say is like we can't all get the good players.
No.
It's the math doesn't work. So. It's
impossible.
Do you happen to have what we finished nationally?
We were 6th going into the game. I usually don't pay attention after. I don't know if we dropped, but we were 6th when we lost.
No, I mean our recruiting class ranking. You may have already said it.
No, I don't know. I don't know, but I would have to say a lot of our recruits weren't really in that top 25. We had a few. Just looking at this, I mean, we had to be 6 or 7 or higher. Sure, no doubt.
We're getting there again. The problem, maybe this is somewhat cannibalizing my own argument earlier. The problem is we've got several SEC teams ahead of us. But hey, okay. So I want to talk, and if you've got anything else on just your overviews, just jump in and
go for it. Let's get on.
My most interesting thing here, Lynn Magruder. I mean, that's funny, but Jason Witten. So Jason Witten, Hall of Fame tight end. Can everybody see what he's being? I don't know if you can. Wide defense. And some of y'all know this. Wide defensive end. Defensive end. And he's
WDE by any of our players.
Yeah, he's rated as number 6 in the country at that. So like,
what's interesting about this list, about the way they do the stars. If you look at today's list, and I would have to go back and look, but we're still at the 4 stars here at 116, right? Mm-hmm. And these are not bad players at this point.
As we can see, no, definitely. So, all right, let's keep going. You just stopped me. Oh, Cam Wake, 114.
Think he's done. Is he done? Is it over?
Man, he's got one more in him.
Somebody will pay him.
Especially if they get the late start from the coronavirus, and a lot of these guys are feeling real rested,
No, that could be true.
Yeah, not being insensitive. I think that really could happen. Jason Peters was an anchor. And what is with this wide defensive end? He's a tackle.
Maybe they changed it in 2000. Maybe that used to be split end. You remember split end used to be a thing? I don't know.
Was that wide 9? Like, remember that Eagles defense everybody still does it some, but I remember the Eagles recently – they had somebody, they were running that wide 9, man. There was this guy, this defensive end. He was lined out. It seemed like he was 20 yards outside, and he was like in the ground, that wide 9. But anyway, he was a tackle. He anchored the line for the Eagles, I believe, for quite a few years. Like I said, Tatum Bell. Why is that name? I don't know.
Texas, but, another thing to look at is, where these kids are from. That has not changed. There he is. There's John Rattay.
John Rattay, JR.
John Rattay. So did he
weak defensive end? It's a weak side defensive end. So there you go. I've got that wide 9 stuck in my brain, but Mr. Green has informed that is weak side defense, and that makes sense.
All right, we'll go with it. John Rattay. Did he finish the season on the roster, or I guess maybe?
I don't know. I wonder if his Wikipedia even has anything about this guy.
Yeah, it
Let's
says he's a businessman from Fresno, Arizona, is what it says.
He's in the business. Let's see. Ortega transfer. He transferred. The article is July 6, 2000. So I think the answer is. Wait a minute.
He never played then.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
the season starts.
Yeah, and he wasn't going to deal with ice, man.
No.
Let's just keep going. No, Ronnie Brown. One of wow.
Cartersville. I'm telling you. I went down and watched some high school games in Cartersville a couple years ago, and they are still. It is amazing the stuff.
Really?
There. Yeah, it's great.
Let's
big
see.
guys. Big guys.
Oh, Jonathan, the Titans idiot, says he will currently settle for transporting to 2021. Don't give up. We might get something this year. We might. We'll see. Robert Peace. He made some plays for us. I remember seeing that big old piece.
On the stat sheet.
Nobody else knows who he is. What's that?
He's on the stat sheet pretty much.
Willie Green. Let's just keep moving here. Willie Green. I feel like he played in the league a little bit.
Alex Barron, right?
Yeah, I know he was a top prospect going into the NFL. With
went to maybe the Ravens. I can't remember.
Let's see. Oh, Robert Peace is Fulmer's son-in-law. Huh. How about that? He should have to change his name to Fulmer.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's see. Vince Wilfork, Big Daddy. What did he?
Pay attention at the weight right here.
310. Yeah, right. 310.
I don't know. I need to see a picture of him coming out of Santa Lucas community. I mean, he's not 310 now. We know that.
No. Maybe he was 310 then. I don't know. Maybe that was right after he
you got to remember, this is right before that Miami 2001 team that honestly could put together an NFL roster. I mean, Vince Wilfork came in. I mean, that team had. This is before that. This is leading up to it. But wow.
Yeah. Oh, they had Gore, McGahee. Then on defense, didn't they have Ed Reed and Sean Taylor?
Absolutely.
It'd be fun to see that team play that 96, the Tommy Frazier team, the one that just blasted Florida.
That team was. That was
be fun. Just smashing into each other. That'd be fun to see. Let's see. All right, we're moving up. We're into the 90s now. And again, folks, we're not going to stop on these if we don't know them because, if we had like a Wisconsin fan, they might be like, yeah, man, Darius Jones, man, he was supposed to be the guy.
Unbelievable.
He was let's see. Keith Kelly. Clemson really was just still. Will Smith. Oh, party in the city where the coach got fired. Yeah, he went on to have a good career. That seems about right.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. He ended up drifting. He got drafted like the top 10. Rashad Baker.
He made some money. Ooh,
yeah, he did.
That one didn't pan out as well as some of the others.
No. Sean Poole, Carlton Neal, a lot of Tennessee guys on here.
Yeah, and this is when we were really recruiting the Northeast pretty well too.
Viewer Michael Green, who Carlton Neal marry? But you don't know that.
I have no idea.
Bet he didn't know that. Michael Bolaware. There's been so many Bolawares. Peter Bolaware. I feel like every time somebody's last name was Bolaware, they're like, this guy's a player. Top 10. Like
always pretty good. So
yeah. Didn't they? And they all went to like Florida State, I think.
All but one.
Oh my God. So I know I heard this name a lot. Carlisle Holiday. Like I can hear Musburger. Of course.
Well, they're on TV.
For Carlisle Holiday. I don't know what. Oh, Notre Dame. Let's see. Vontez Duff.
Jermel.
The owner of Duff Beer.
There you go. He's young for that.
Yeah, deep cut for you Simpsons fans.
Walker, he didn't participate. Alex Holmes.
Carlos Joseph, man, he played. Woo. Oh, am I thinking of
You're thinking of the other.
I'm thinking of the Auburn defensive back, aren't I?
Where's Jonathan at? Is he still on? Who's that War Eagle.
Tell us his name. Oh, what was his name? Oh my gosh, he played in the league for a while.
Coming up on Terrell Suggs.
Terrell Suggs at 62. Like how he gets to Arizona State, that's wild. 4-star. I mean, that guy was
He's from Arizona, so I mean his hometown.
All right, let's keep going here unless we see a name just really. Shannon Snell, related to the Snells on Ozark.
No, that's Benny's dad. That's Benny's dad, right?
Come on. Oh. Chris Rex.
There he is. So here was the other question I had for you, and you can't answer this now. I wish I would have. Who, any of our viewers know, who was the 6th string backup quarterback for Florida State this year?
The year that Chris Winkie and them beat Vic. That year. This the 99 title, but
correct.
Yeah, that was played in 2000. Anybody?
It's a tough one.
Either one of you people.
Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Bolden. Who would go on to ball out in a BCS bowl game when he actually did have to play quarterback?
He did. The next year.
Chris Ricks, he was like
he's a California
early NFL Jameis Winston, where it was like it's going up.
Oh yeah.
Receiver says, "I'm not open." Oh, it's going up. So you can either try or not because I'm throwing it.
But he had talent on the outside. I mean, those Florida State teams, you could get away. You know, look at who they played. Come on. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. They feasted on ACC.
Come on.
Chris Ricks, man, he's had this dumb look. There was nothing behind those eyes, man.
I mean, there weren't any Duke corners that were, shutting them down, right?
It weren't. No, those Wake Forest split ends weren't really getting after him.
No.
Yeah, Marcus Outson was probably – I don't remember if he was a redshirt senior or something when we played them. I don't know if he was on the next year's team or not. And I don't really want to know. Let's see.
Now we're getting into these guys. If we, you're top 30.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look. I guess I didn't notice we have crept into the 5 stars.
Yeah. There we go. Right.
Yeah.
40.
Just to put a button on it, Outson may have been on this. I got to get past the Red Rooster, but he may have. he may have been on it. So Chris Septak. He is the number 1 rated tight end for Nebraska.
And Witten was he the 6th rated tight end? Was that what it was?
He was not listed as a tight end.
Oh, that's right. He was a wide defensive end.
As we know, he was the weak side defensive end. We have learned something today. And he was rated at that. So Chris Septak, your best tight end in the year Jason Witten is going to college.
Tight end, kids coming out of high school. How many bodies look like good tight ends?
Yeah.
This is before.
It's a weird school to go to as well. Even then.
Oh, yeah.
If you're top-rated tight end, do you think you're going to get a lot of passes? I mean, they're still running that a lot of option.
Yep.
I mean, anyway. Greg Jones, all right, he panned out. He had a pretty decent NFL career. He like all the guys that are pretty good from Florida, the Florida college, they always play for the Jaguars. Every
time.
They're not going to not play for the Jaguars at some point. They're going to play. All right. Alfonso, and these are interesting too because these are the top-rated guys in their position.
Yeah. Fred Taylor bringing everything.
Alfonso Townsend.
I don't know. I don't remember him too well.
6'6", 280. Never heard from him. Raymond was not the man.
Terrence Mann's grandson.
Michael Mann's. I got nothing on that one.
Stretching here. Sloan
Kettering. Sloan Thomas, wide receiver, 6'2", 188. I never heard of Sloan Thomas.
No,
maybe I'm being too hard.
I always remember that quarterback, a really good quarterback in Tennessee that actually quarterbacked for Lipscomb in the 90s. Never really panned out. His name was Sloan, but I always remember that. It's like, wow, you're a great quarterback for the name Sloan.
Yeah. Sloan. Fulmer. So Jason Witten can thank his NFL prosperity to Coach Fulmer, who, when he didn't want to switch, was told that's where he'd make his career. So there you go.
Good for him.
So Jason Campbell, 33rd best player. So they balled out that year. They should have been in the national title game. They absolutely got hosed. They would have, because it was
Oklahoma year. No, Oklahoma LSU year, or no? Am I thinking of which year are you talking about?
They played Virginia Tech in a BCS bowl. They should have been in the title game because weren't there 3 undefeated teams? Wasn't it USC and
Ohio State?
Oh my gosh.
No, would have been Miami. No, I don't know. Miami at that point in time? I remember what you're talking about, though. Jason Campbell had really a stellar year that year. I think he actually broke some SEC records that got broken later.
Yeah. So in 2004, they would go wait, no.
2004.
Oh, yeah. So in 2004, they would go 13-0. He would be the quarterback.
Senior quarterback.
Let's see. They would play number 9 Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl. And let's see what happened. They were denied a berth in the BCS title game because they finished the regular season ranked 3. I kept getting 4 teams stuck in my head. So, yeah, they were left out. They don't do us any – USC and Oklahoma. Yeah, USC and Oklahoma played for the national title, and Oklahoma got boat raced.
Yeah, I was thinking that was that Oklahoma team that really should have never been there. But
no.
They had the name behind them that year. And Auburn, at that point in time was not – I mean, they were Alabama's little brother. I mean –
yeah, they weren't getting the respect. The SEC wasn't getting the respect. And I think they beat USC, or at least it's one hell of a game. So, but you can bet if we have a playoff, they're in it. And
yeah.
Yep. All right. So Jason Campbell, man, yeah, that was a good recruit. I mean,
maybe an idea for a podcast later. What would be the 4 playoff teams?
We should do that. That'll be good. And then just kind of play it out a little bit.
Play it out.
All right. Okay. I mean, look at this. So I don't know any of these people.
No, it's tough.
There's a Christian Brothers high school in every school in every state of the union. Albert Means. Now, UT's Lake, if you're still out there, feel free to comment. But that name was that part of the scandal with?
Let's see.
Yeah, he's out of Memphis. Didn't they cheat to get him? And Fulmer kind of, as he should have, was like, hey, y'all seeing this?
The man, where is the man that brought down Alabama for almost 10 years? That from Bleacher Report. Wow. Yeah.
Is that what you get when you Google him?
Yeah.
Man, I'd say Albert means trouble.
He's a PE teacher right now. He's a PE teacher, so he got his education.
Yeah, good for him. We're not going to hate on him.
No.
He's just a teenager. He didn't know it.
So listen to this. This is kind of interesting. $6,000.
That's it?
$6,000. What was USC giving these guys a few years later?
It was like a yacht, majority ownership in a tech startup that would go on to become Snapchat.
I mean,
$6,000. That's like the Thanos line. All that for a drop of blood, like at the end of in the Infinity War fight. It's crazy.
He asked Kentucky for $6,000. Alabama at this point in time was only paying $4,000 for visits.
Bama, you got to come up on that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and Fulmer had to do the SEC media days via like speakerphone or conference call or something because they were going to subpoena his ass if he went in. Oh man, it just means more. Albert means more.
His high school coach got $30,000 now. Yeah, $30,000.
That's ridiculous. Wow. Okay, his
tides have changed.
All right. Okay.
Jason.
Now,
Casey, there he is.
There he is. There's the man. 6'4", 215. Ain't afraid no gator.
Mission Hills. I've been to Mission Hills.
5-star. So he was rated 4th. So we're going to see 3 quarterbacks ahead of him. I believe one of their names starts with Brock. Jason Respert, who I will only ever remember as a Michigan State shooting guard, who would go on to play for the Bucks. I think.
Right.
I certainly don't remember him as I'm assuming that means offensive center. If that doesn't mean offense, or was he? Did we recruit him to be the offensive coordinator?
We took the number 22 player in the nation for our OC.
We did.
We did.
And he's also playing hoops for Michigan State.
Wow.
But no, I don't remember. He may have been very, very good. Admittedly, we don't always pay close attention to the offensive linemen unless they're like Trey, just knocking people on their rear end. So
I'm gonna get, they're the quarterbacks in this class just got all of them. If you look at all of them, all these, they got right here. They just got right here.
I know.
We
go to let's do this. Let's move through this real quick. We'll just close it out by just looking at the quarterbacks.
We'll do it.
All right. I just want to see if there's anybody. Matt Grudegood? What? I love these names. Roy Williams. Okay. He had a hell of a career.
Hey, Permian.
What's that?
He was at Permian, one of the Friday.
Yeah, he was like a progenitor of Roy Williams, not Roy Williams, Calvin for the Lions. Didn't they both play for the Lions? Or Roy Williams? Because
Calvin Johnson. Oh, Roy Williams. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, big receiver.
Yeah, he was. What happened?
Big.
He did. He went to the Lions too, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he kind of like
keep moving along. I'm gonna check that out.
I don't know what chance. Let's see. Jeff Smoker. I remember that guy at Michigan State. He could sling that ball. That's no sarcasm. I actually remember him. It's sad. Willis McGahee, that seems about right. So he's the 3rd rated running back. Woo, Munoz. 6'7", 290, man. That's took him a little while, but he was pretty good.
He moved up a few spots because of his daddy.
Now, Sam Maldonado, who is allegedly better than Willis McGahee, I don't remember much about this guy.
No, I'm trying to think of those Ohio State teams in the coming years. I don't remember that.
Bryant McFadden, no. B.J. Johnson sounds familiar, but Kwame Harris, he's a lineman. I'm going to reserve judgment. Marcus Houston.
Colorado.
Number one. He's the number rated running back in this.
Colorado paid a lot of money.
Right?
We know that.
Like one of these is not like the other.
Right. They paid money.
All right. Travis Johnson, Charles Rogers. So Michigan State getting that Smoker Rogers connection in this class. Pretty good work by Bobby Williams.
This would have been mostly done by Saban.
Bobby Williams had to re-recruit. Okay, don't sell Bobby Williams short. Bobby Williams. It helps.
Time his name's going to be mentioned.
Yeah, it helps that he's from Saginaw. DJ Williams. I'm going to click on him real quick because we're going to close out by just taking a quick peek at the quarterbacks. So so he played. We looked at this last night. He played for the Bears and the Broncos, had a pretty decent career, which, if you're the number 2 rated high school guy and you end up playing in the NFL for 10 years, then you probably were slotted correctly.
Right.
Let's do position real quick, and then we'll let everybody get back to sitting there and also not doing anything because of the quarantine. Note there were no top-rated dual quarterbacks in this list. So Brock Berlin, man, the number 1 rated quarterback. I remember hearing about him. Everybody wanted this guy.
I mean, he had an arm that ended up. It seemed like it just never got bigger. He just never materialized as an athlete.
No, and Spurrier had a real short leash with quarterbacks, man. Like if he put you in there and you weren't hitting it, play right out. Nope, buckets.
So who succeeded Brock Berlin Who would that have been? No.
Grossman wouldn't have been far away. Was that the Brandeis years and was that the Doug Johnson Brandeis tag team years? No, Doug. Maybe Doug Johnson. That's who we beat in '98.
Doug, yeah, that was early. Yeah, Doug. Golly,
right, with Doug Johnson and not Doug Palmer, right?
Yeah, Doug Johnson.
Jesse Palmer's. It could have been Jesse Palmer on here. I don't know, man. These Florida quarterbacks, you know their names, but you rarely know what they accomplished, except for Warfel and.
They didn't accomplish.
Not much, no.
Well, Rex Grossman did make a Super Bowl.
He did. He sure did. I enjoyed watching that one. Chance Mock. So when we were scrolling through this, I knew that name was ringing a bell. I didn't know why.
Yeah.
It's a quarter. It makes sense. Texas, not a lot of luck. Casey Clausen, Jason Campbell, Chris Ricks, Craig Ox, Zach Wasserman, Andrew. I think Andrew Walter had a pretty decent career. He got a look in the league. Brandon Summer, Chris Kelly, John Rattay. So, like, we got two of these guys.
Two of the top 12.
And I don't think nobody else can say that. But I think if you're redoing this, I love Casey. I'm torn between him and Campbell. Like, they should be first.
Casey Clausen, if you look at his college career, probably, and I'm not looking at the stats, obviously a lot more familiar. It seemed like Jason Campbell just showed out that 1 year. And very inconsistent.
Yeah, I'd take Casey. I think Casey Clausen was. I think he was the best quarterback on this list. He ended up being the best quarterback. Yeah. I've got this weird sneaking suspicion. I'm sorry. I know we're getting at an hour. I've got to know what Jeff Smoker's stats were.
Jeff Smoker. By the way, just while you're looking that up, Roy Williams for Texas did go to the Lions and played from 2004 to 2011 in the league. So, not bad.
Okay.
Played for the Lions, Cowboys, and Bears. Oh, my.
All right. Yeah, I thought I saw him. I thought I remembered him in the Lions jersey. So, Mr. Smoker,
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, 61 and 39. Well, this is kind of fun. All right, so let's just do this real quick. Let's look at Clausen. Let's just look at.
Let's do that.
Let's look at. Why do I always have all caps on? That's like some serial killer shit. Yeah. What was the Brady Hoke? That's some Brady Hoke shit.
I'm looking up Jason.
All right. So Casey.
Yeah. Wow. Smoker had
this website is so jank. Let's see.
College.
So 75. Casey had almost 10,000 yards passing, 75 touchdowns, 31 picks. Really good QB rating.
So I've got.
this guy.
I got Jason Campbell. Go ahead.
What do you have for Campbell?
So Campbell's 7,300 yards.
Okay.
For 45 and 24. So yeah, Casey for a career, and Campbell had 20 of those touchdowns his senior year.
Yeah.
Man,
Casey Clausen had 27 touchdown passes and 9 picks in his 2003, man.
What a year. That's a spectacular year.
Yeah, that is.
12 attempts. We're throwing the ball.
I think if you're redoing this, he's going first. Campbell's going second. I don't know why I'm even bought. Andrew Walter. I'm gonna check this in, and then I promise the few people are still here. I gotta know. I just gotta know because that name sounds. And I see like this lanky Arizona State quarterback slinging it around, which what they have.
Only game on TV that you'd be watching.
Oh yeah, I'm usually pretty up on the Arizona situations.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I remembered that a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Jeez.
He threw over 3,000 yards 3 years in a row. Wow.
But he was throwing. Look how many times he threw the ball every year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's putting it up, man.
But still 7.8 yards per attempt.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's solid.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so he's obviously, boy, he makes a strong. Now, look, I know he's playing in the Pac-12. I know. Everybody, I know.
Give him 2 spots. Bump him 2 spots for the Pac-12.
Yeah. I don't know. So I'll put him right up. He and Smoke. So basically, you've got Clausen, Campbell, Smoker, and Walter. And that's all I care to research right now. So that's who I'm going to say the top 4 probably were.
I'll go with you on that.
Because Chris Ricks, I just remember him throwing a lot of interceptions, man. A lot of interceptions. All right, this is it. I swear this is it. This is the last goal of the night.
It's the last
This
one.
is it, folks. I'm obsessed with Chris Ricks. This is the way to end this show. This is the way to end it. Chris Ricks.
Interceptions. You got to prove. Is he a commentator?
I mean, you can go listen to The Ringer and get some really intelligent, hilarious content, or you can stick with me and we can look at Chris Ricks stats for 5 minutes.
Who else is bringing you Chris Ricks stats on a Tuesday night? Anyone.
Nobody.
Anyone.
All right. Okay. Better than I thought. I don't know what happened. I think maybe did he get benched this season? With respect to him, we'll say he got hurt.
But look at if he plays his senior year though. A lot of interceptions. You're right, but
What's weird is the freshman numbers.
Yeah. Wow.
Are nearly identical to the junior numbers. So maybe this guy, maybe it's the team around him. Clearly he must get hurt because he's not going to get. I don't think he's going to get benched just for 3 and 7.
Definitely got hurt.
All right.
Chris,
I promised that was it. So this has been good. This is going to go to kickoff show. We'll have to look at doing some. So under the Press Reset TV show, we'll have to look at doing some playoff stuff. We'll do this with basketball too.
Yeah.
Basketball
drafts and basketball recruiting, it's really exciting to look at some of the players.
Yeah. And, we're a little limited sometimes. Like back to 2000 is the earliest I can find rankings. I thought it'd be real. I found online a yellowed piece of paper, an image of it that is Peyton's year he's coming out. And it's got a certain number of players you can see. So who knows? We might do that. That would be fun. But that's the reason we've kind of started.
We don't have many older viewers yet.
What's that?
We don't have that many older viewers yet.
No, that's right. Well, cool. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for having me. This has been great on Milkshake Funeral and Press Reset. So
absolutely. Tell your friends about it.
Have fun.
We'll keep going. All right, man. We'll do it again.
See you guys.
Later.